Hi everyone, I'm Farmer Jolly and welcome back to our vintage series on Pallegney. Now, we've got a lot to do in this episode. We've just started rolling the soybean field. Now, I don't think, well, we're not going to get much money for these soybeans at all, but it's too late. I don't think we can really plant anything else, so we're just going to have to stick with it and go from there. But we've learnt our lesson, especially the fact that we had got soybeans on our survival series on Riverbend Springs, and they did not yield much at all, and they were in a much bigger field. So I'm not going to hold my breath for a good yield on this, but we need to maximise how much we can get, which is why we are rolling the field, because that's going to really boost everything. So aside from rolling this field, we've also got a spraying contract that we need to do. We've windrowed the one grass field, and we've still got the other grass field that we need to windrow. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I can't set a worker with our windrow, so we might have to look at changing the setup so that we can, because if we could, I would have the John Deere on a worker getting that field ready. But not to worry, we can't do that at the moment. And obviously we've got, like I said, we've got the spraying contract in the field directly opposite us. Luckily, none of our fields are ready to be harvested, because if they were, I think we would be really struggling. But that is not the case, which I'm quite relieved about. So we've got to get this done. It's taken quite a long time, especially on the up and down rows, because it's very heavy field roller, but it's doing the job. For those of you who are new to this series or to the channel, and especially as there's been quite a big break between the last Pallegney episode or Vintage Farm episode and this one, this is our vintage series where we're just taking everything a bit more slow and relaxed, and using older machines to get all the jobs done, and just, like I say, just taking our time with everything, really. Hence why it's not the end of the world that we're only going 2 miles an hour up the hill. Probably could have used a bigger tractor, but the main goal for this series, it's going to be quite a challenge, especially as we've got less than £1,000 in the bank at the moment. But our goal for this series is to reach £1 million with the older equipment and just taking our time with everything. There are a few upgrades that I would quite like to do. The first being, we've got a front loader on the tractors, but we haven't got a telehandler or wheel loader. Now, there are a couple of nice JCB mods that are old enough that would work, so it'd be nice to get one of those at some point, especially if we start doing bales, because our one bale store is up high and we can't reach it. Another upgrade, obviously, as I said, would be the windrow, so we can actually use a worker, and it would be nice to change our forage wagon from the front forage collection and a trailer to an actual forage wagon. But I need to have a look in the mod hub and see if we can find one. But yeah, we'll just taking our time with everything. Now, I have installed a couple of new mods, especially as the Mercedes pack has now been released. Now, they are on mod hub, but there are a couple of much older Unimogs, and I think it would be quite nice at some point to get a Unimog, an older Unimog, to fit in with the series. But we've got a lot to do, especially, well, the starting price for these Unimogs is over £26,000, and the fact we've got less than 1,000, we've got a long way to go. Obviously, we've got a field of soybeans, which isn't going to help much, but we'll finish this field off and we'll crack on with the spraying. So we've just filled up with as much herbicide as we can. And we're going to run over to the spraying contract and we'll get that done. And hopefully it doesn't take us too long. And hopefully we don't have to come back for some more. But if we do, it's not the end of the world. We can always put it onto the trailer that's next to it. And drive it over that way if we have to, which might be a better option. Right, so we are here, and I thought we were going to take a sign down then. Oh, perfect. It's already calculated our working width. So we can turn that on and just get going. That's not going to... It won't take us too long. I stand corrected. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. And there are a lot of weeds. That is ridiculous. Right, for some reason, I've had to cancel the spraying contract because for some reason, as soon as I started spraying, the game froze and crashed. I tried it a few times and it just kept doing it. So I've cancelled the contract because it seems, I think it was just when we were doing the herbicide spraying. So like I said, I have cancelled that, unfortunately. But it does mean that we can get the grass all sorted, which is, it's a shame because it would have been nice to have that extra £5,000, but I'd rather be able to play and record than have the money and the game keep crashing. I'm not sure what would have caused that. If anyone's got any ideas at all, please let me know in the comments because I really don't know what would have caused that to happen. It was really weird. But anyway, we've got a lot that we need to do, and this tractor is going to need to be repaired, so we are going to need some cash quickly. It should be okay to do what we need it to do. But yeah, this is going to need to be repaired. But we've got a relatively large field that we've got to first windrow and then come back and collect everything. We should get quite a bit of silage, hopefully, which will be lovely, because that is going to do us very well. We do need to start trying to find the rest of these collectibles. I still don't know where they are. They really are scattered around in very strange places. But that's a job probably for a different episode. So let's get this field all windrowed so we can get it all collected. Right, so this should, in theory, be the last pass for the windrow. I mean, yeah, that'll do. So let's get this, get our HUD back on so we can see what we're doing. Let's get that all folded back up like so. And might as well do this out of cab because all the tractors are very old and very loud, and are definitely me when I go in cab. So we're gonna run back to the farm. We've got a lot that we've got to get done. So we're gonna grab the forage collection machine, forage pickup, and the trailer. Now it's a shame that we can't get a bigger trailer, and I don't think there's one in this sale because that would be too easy if there was a nice trailer at less than £1,000. I keep forgetting that bit. So yeah, let's run back, grab the other kit. We need to see how much this is going to cost to repair. If we really had to, we could take out a loan. I don't want to, but we could if we need to. But we will see. If we have to take out a loan, it will just be for repairing the machines. It won't be for buying new. Hopefully, won't be for buying new equipment. Not that we need any new equipment just yet. And I think in a couple of months we're going to be able to start harvesting our 2 mustard fields, which I think are going to bring us, hopefully going to bring us a lot of money. We'll have a quick look at when we can harvest those when we're back at the farm. At least we're not too far away now. It's just a pain because we are so close to the farm on the grass field, or one we've been working on just. But there's no track. We don't own the fields in between, so we've got to go the long way round, which really is a bit of a pain. But it's not too bad of a drive, especially as this is our slow-paced series. It doesn't take us too long. That was the game saving. See, that's what I thought it was doing when it crashed. It looked like it was just going to save, but then it did nothing, and all of a sudden the tractor started driving forwards, but I wasn't in the tractor. My camera stayed still, and then yeah, whoop, I've hit the mic again. I do apologise. I really need to get better with not hitting that microphone in its new place. And yeah, the camera just sort of stayed still and the tractor just started driving and I couldn't control it. And that happened twice, which isn't ideal. Hence why we decided to not do the spraying contract. Right, let's just pull in here and see how much it's going to cost to repair this tractor. Oh, that's okay. Is it this tractor that's really worn? It's only got 10% damage. Oh, okay, so it's the windrow that's bad. Oh, I wonder if that's why we can't hire a worker. I doubt it, but it could be. Let's see if we can do this and squeeze through this gap, touching the trailer slightly there. And again there. That's okay, we're through though. We will have to try that. That'd be quite interesting if that is the case as to why we can't hire a worker. I thought we could previously, but I could be wrong. So right, we've got this. Let's lift it up. This needs to be repaired. This is bad. So let's pull this into the repair trigger and see how much this is going to cost. Something's going to tell me it's going to be quite expensive. Right, where's the repair trigger? Just here. We should be in it. Hit there. Oh yeah, this is very bad. £4,007. Okay, we're going to have to just stick with it for now, because we do not have that kind of money. I'm just hoping the trailer's not too bad either. Let's bring the camera around so that we can see what we're doing. There we go. And before we head back, let's have a quick look. So we've got these two are our mustard fields. And then we've got, is it wheat in those two? Wheat in those three. And then the soybeans. So, whereas wheat is going to be harvested in July, August, whereas mustard is the same. So we've actually got a couple of months to wait. Mustard takes quite a long time. It takes nearly a year to grow, whereas the wheat, to be fair, the wheat nearly is the same. And obviously, where is it? The soybeans, October. They don't take that long to grow, but never again. Never again. Right. I think once we've got our silage all delivered and compacted, I think we can move on to the next month. But it's going to be quite a few journeys to get this done. And we don't have a faster vehicle. So let's crack on and see how much we can get done of this collecting. Right, we've nearly finished collecting all the grass from the first field. I don't know whether to say there's been a lot or not much, because we've only done one full load. And I'm not sure if we're going to get a second full load or not. We will, once we've got all of these bits, we will go around the perimeter of the field and just collect any last little bits that we may have missed. But it's on one hand, I'm glad that we've not had to go backwards and forwards to the farm multiple times, but on the other hand, we could do with the money, and not really getting much grass isn't ideal. We have still got the other field to go, so we could get quite a bit. So we'll finish this off, and don't want the episodes to be too long, so we will just crash into the tree. Well, that's not what I was going for. I was going to say we will finish the episode once we've finished this field, and we will get the other field done in the next episode and move on a month or two. We might even, depends on how much there is that needs to be done, there's a chance we could start harvest, which would be nice. So it doesn't look like we're going to fill this trailer there. I'm glad that we are going around the edge, because there are some bits that we are missing, but I don't think it's going to be the 19% that we are missing. But it's not the end of the world. It's going to give us a decent amount of cash regardless. So I will finish this little pass off, but as always, thank you very much for watching the episode, and I apologise that it's been quite a long time since the last episode, but as always, I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, it would mean a lot if you could hit that like button, and hopefully we'll see you back here for the next one. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.